Good afternoon. I am Dantrea Hampton, the periodicals reference librarian at Kentucky State University's Blazer Library. And today we will be encouraging civic engagement on campus.
Good afternoon. I am Sheila Stuckey, and I'm the library director here at Kentucky State University. To tell you a little bit about our university, we are a historically Black land-grant institution founded in 1886. We have an enrollment of approximately 2,200 students, and our campus is located in Frankfort, Kentucky, which is the capital city.
Okay, civic engagement, as defined by Richard P. Adler, refers to the ways in which citizens participate in the life of a community in order to improve conditions for others or to help shape the community's future.
Generation Z, or the Zoomers, played a significant role in the last election. And the New Policy Institute reported that 53 to 55% of registered 18 to 29-year-old voters voted in the 2020 election, which might be the highest ever recorded in the modern era of politics. And it's been noted that college students' vote was pivotal in the deciding the winner in many of the key battleground states.
Zoomers and millennials definitely mirror each other. Their participation is enormous as they are civically engaged. Both of these generational eras are ethnically diverse. They're both pro-government, and they engage by using social media platforms. Build it, they'll come. I thought about this when I saw the movie Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. If you build it, they will come. So we try to provide opportunities for engagement with voter education forums, voter registrations, and we also share history and explain how it is the student's responsibility to engage. Connect to engage. Here we connect with the students on their level. We meet them with social media. We see them here at the library. We go to them at the student center, face-to-face here on campus. We've even gone to the classrooms to do voter registrations right in their classes, the dormitories, as well as the cafeteria. And again, especially here in the library. And due to the pandemic, we've also, done things remotely via Zoom. And these are some examples of the ways that we have engaged with the students. The first picture is a voter registration on campus right outside of the student center in the plaza. And then the next picture is capturing a group of community members, campus members. We had invited some of our state representatives and faculty members to present and share in a voter education workshop here in the library. And again, peer support is very important. We get a lot of students involved with just having their peers encourage them. The first picture shows some of the students in the dormitory, and this was a student-led informational about voting, and they're registering some of the student body to vote. And the other picture is a voter registration that just happened this past September on National Voter Registration Day. And the students worked, I think this was National Voter Registration Day on campus. So they worked really hard, and I think they registered about 38 people that day. All hands on deck. Collaboration is very important, and as well as teamwork. We've worked with community organizations as well as our campus partners and departments. And you can see some of our partners here on campus, the Office of Stewardship, some student-led organizations like our Student Government Association, and some of our community partners have included Greek organizations like sororities and fraternities, civic and civil rights organizations like the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, and the ACLU. And we've also collaborated with the Office of the Secretary of State, since we're right here in the state's capital. And these are just some photographs of the collaboration. Again, the first picture is from National Voter Registration Day, and we collaborated with the Office of Stewardship. And then the next picture shows a number of organizations that came together. There were 2 sororities, and the NAACP was involved. And we did a collaborative voter registration. And that was inside of the student center near the cafeteria and the bookstore.
There has always been a strong sense of pride centered around voting in the African American community. And our African American Greek lettered fraternities and sororities, also known as Divine Nine, have always mobilized and pushed the Get Out to Vote movement through the years. And during this past election season, a group of our sororities, and I think it was actually Dantrea and I are part of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and I think one of their members started this campaign, Stroll to the Polls. And this is just a still photo, but there's actually a video clip on the internet that shows the sororities strolling and promoting Get Out to Vote. And this just illustrates the commitment that our organizations had to turning out to the polls in record numbers this last election. This next photo is another example of campus involvement with our students, with the social justice movements such as Black Lives Matters and the wake of the Breonna Taylor case that happened here in Kentucky, just 45 minutes away in Louisville. Our university created a task force called WOKE, W-O-K-E, and WOKE stands for Wisdom, Opportunities, Knowledge, and Empowerment. And it was developed to assist our students in uplifting and educating and empowering the campus community and those impacted by unequal protection under the law. And shortly after the grand jury findings of the Breonna Taylor case, that's when this task force was created. And our students were hurting and they were in pain over the decision. And they decided to, they came up with this idea to create a montage of photos of themselves wearing Black Lives Matters shirts. And they put the pictures on the grounds of the campus, on the street that faces our main street that runs in front of our campus, so that the members of the community could feel their pain over the recent social injustices that we've been experiencing over this past year. So yesterday versus today, Kentucky State University is a historically Black university, and the establishment of HBCUs was an effort to bridge the social and economic divide by way of education and equal opportunity for African Americans. And historically, HBCUs have always been champions of social justice, and they've always been civically engaged, and that's just a part of who we are. But this particular photo, everyone has heard about the March on Washington, which happened in 1963, which was to advocate for civil and economic rights for African Americans. Well, a year later, here in Frankfurt, March the 5th, 1964, over 10,000 people marched to the Capitol here in Frankfort, Kentucky, and it was led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Jackie Robinson, who was the first African American to play in Major League Baseball. And they were demanding demanding a law, the passing of a law to end segregation in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And our KSU students participated in the march, as well as Frankfurt community and other local and national civil rights organizations. So 56 years later, almost to the date, on March the 1st, 2020, we celebrated the 55th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. And again, our KSU students, the Frankfurt and Greater Frankfurt communities, as well as other local civil rights organizations, marched to the Capitol here in Frankfurt to commemorate the 55th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, that attempt to march from Selma to Montgomery. And they were fighting for voter rights. So this just shows that our students today are still being active and civically engaged in the Frankfurt community.
Culture and experience. We found that cultural experience is something that we must all consider when trying to engage our students to vote. Some of the things that we often don't consider is, are the students' parents civically engaged? Are these things being talked about in the home? Is politics being talked about? Are they being encouraged on the home front to engage civically? And their circle of friends, do they even have this same experience or something different where they're actively engaged or not? And oftentimes when we're trying to encourage our student body to get involved, a lot of them don't know what party their parents are members of. So sometimes, we have to consider these things and then meet them where they are so we can truly educate them, but still encourage them and sharing the fact that it's okay that, you didn't get this at home. So we're gonna, provide these opportunities for you here at Kentucky State University. And engagement really does matter. There is power in participation, and they're here in our state's capital city, and the Capitol is less than 2 miles away from the campus. So they're affected by decisions made just right here. And we often tell them, use your power or you may lose it. And this is very true because if you don't vote, somebody else's vote will count more and will do the work that your vote isn't. And so I often encourage them as well to, you know, since they do have the power to be a voice for others, to use it, and that they can be a voice for the voiceless. And just getting involved with the community, just dealing with things that affect them directly, and letting them know that they can they can be the change that they want to see by just getting involved.
Another way that Kentucky State is involved is through our legislative days at the Capitol. Every year, we have Kentucky State Day at the Capitol, and it's a day where we're able to talk with some of our legislative representatives and hear about issues and legislative bills that affect our community in higher education. And also some of our other organizations, such as our fraternities and sororities, they also have legislative days at the Capitol. And a couple of weeks ago, we just had our Alpha Kappa Alpha Day at the Capitol. And it was virtual this year, but it's just a time for us to go to the Capitol and share and just learn about what's going on in our community legislatively.
And in the wake of this pandemic, we all have experienced the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and these instances have spurred social justice causes. And so we encourage the students to get involved, um, and ways to get involved, like working at the polls, um, getting to know the stakeholders in our community here in Frankfurt, and building those relationships, and learning that the importance of building relationships will create you know a closeness, will help build the community, and create avenues for inclusion.
So over the past year, there have been many threats to our American democracy, and we must continue to advocate for more robust civic engagement conversations and programs on our campuses in order to ensure that our students are going to continue to be engaged and informed citizens in their communities going forward.
And finally, we do know that engagement among these generations Y and Z, or the millennials and Zoomers, they have improved. They understand that they have rights, and they understand that they have responsibilities as citizens, and that they can have positive societal effects, or create them. And so we will continue to educate our students here, inform them, and empower them to be effective citizens. And we thank you for this opportunity to share our presentation with you.
Thank you so much.